Boom. Perfect. Thank you very much for joining me. Yes, this is MLS Ireland Does Predictions on Twitch. I know I usually do them on YouTube, but this will be probably up on YouTube in a minute. Well, not a minute, probably in an hour's time. But I might as well do it on this because I don't really have that much time because, as you can tell, I'm here. But I don't live here no more. But I came back for the weekend, so here I am. So, yep, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Just for some reason, a whole pile of stuff has come up in my thing here. But anyway, yep, these are my predictions for the last week. This is going to be decision time and all that kind of stuff. There is a couple of teams that may make it in. There's some teams that may lose out. So it's going to be a bit interesting. Minnesota, Real Salt Lake, or Vancouver can probably get into this competition. Portland may even miss out. So this is going to be fun. Columbus Crew, surprisingly, in it. Cincinnati can probably make it in. Orlando can make it in. Probably, I think Charlotte are officially out. I'm not 100% sure. But again, Inter may not even make it in as well. So, hey, MLS, anything can happen. Because this is the reason why we love MLS. Because none of us have a clue. Not even people in MLS. Yeah, true fact. So yeah, there was a couple of games on during the week as well. Miami beat Orlando 4-1, which is pretty impressive, as you can see. And Charlotte beat drew against Columbus Crew, not too bad. So yeah, all games, 14 games on this weekend. Tomorrow night, Sunday. So this is going to be an interesting week, as some interesting things is going to be happening. Anything can happen because it's MLS, but may as well crack on with the first few games. The first one, funny enough, is Atlanta against New York City FC. Atlanta, who are out, coming up against the New York City FC team, who are officially in. See, Atlanta, probably not their greatest season, but they did finish off their season quite better than usual. Well, I suppose they lost their last game against New England, but drew against Philadelphia and beat Orlando and Toronto, so that's not too bad. But they're coming up against a New York City FC team who won their last two against Orlando and New York Red Bulls. So they're coming up against an Atlanta team who you would suspect them to beat quite convincingly. I know Atlanta are at home. They have nothing really to lose. New York City probably don't have much to lose. So this game could be just... New York City could probably just play their young guns and all that kind of stuff. As to be fair, so can Atlanta. But saying that... I think Atlanta could probably win this one. I'm going for like a 2-1 win to Atlanta, just for the fact that they're probably, like I said, going to just go into this game and not really worry too much. Whereas probably New York City FC are probably just going to be a bit more cautious, trying to not get many players injured and probably just play a couple of kids. So those were my thinkings. The next one is Chicago Fire. Who only won one game in the last four, against New England Revolution, who haven't won a game in the last four away from home. So, not too bad. New England Revolution, a bit disappointed. They beat Atlanta 2-1 last week, so that wasn't too bad, all things considered. They're not making it into the playoffs, which is unfortunate. Whatever. So, yeah, they're probably not going to make it in, which is unfortunate. So, they're coming up against a Chicago Fire team who are not making it into this. So, this game could be basically a 1-1, just a curtain closer for the season. So Chicago Fire, kind of disappointing. They started off the season atrocious, then they started getting things going and all that kind of stuff, and then they just kind of bailed. Whereas New England Revolution paid too much attention to the Champions League, and then that kind of destroyed them. So yeah, they're not coming into this game with hope much as well. Granted, they have won 2 of the last 6, well, not great either, where Chicago Fire probably done the same, but beating Cincinnati. Let me go for like a 1-0 win to Chicago Fire. It's a game that I can't really predict, to be fair, because nobody's really playing for much. They're not playing for playoff spots, so it is the last week, granted. The DC United against Cincinnati, whereas Cincinnati are playing for spots. They're coming up against the DC United team who are atrocious, so they should probably get the win in this one, you would suspect. But again, this is MLS, where DC United have nothing to lose. Cincinnati have quite a few things to lose. Playoff being that. So again, they're coming into this one a bit better on the road. But let's see. Cincinnati, who are 12th overall, not too bad. Only lost the last game against Chicago Fire 3-2, which really basically affected them up. Drew against Seattle away from home, which is pretty impressive, and beat Real Salt Lake away from home. So they have a good wee record away from home. So, and now we're coming up against the DC United team, who are just a season to forget, season to basically bury. If that makes any sense, just get rid of it. Delete. Yeah, delete. So I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win to Cincinnati, just because they have a lot more riding on this game, and I think they should really probably do a better result than normal. Yes, James was a crack. So the next one is Inter against Montreal. Montreal, if they win this game, they could probably go second in the Eastern. So there's a lot of riding on this game for them, and they're coming against an Inter Miami team who are probably safe. Again, now they could lose out in this one. So this is actually going to be an interesting one. Two teams have a bit riding on this. Montreal probably not as much, but you kind of do want that bye, or do you really want that bye? The two last teams who got the bye last year. Sorry, I don't think they actually made it in. Can't remember. Such a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, Inter Miami at home against the Montreal team. It's hard to know really about this one. Inter Miami, two teams are probably in the best of form compared to the rest of them. Won their last 4 at home, and Montreal won their last 4 away from home. So again, this one's going to be a good one. I'm going to go for like a 1-0 win to Inter. At home, I think this is going to be the game where they really needed more than Montreal, and I do think they have. Higuain's probably not his last game, but it's his last season, so I think they're going to try and basically this is going to try to get them over the line. So I think a 1-0 win for Inter Miami and them staying in the playoffs. So that's going to be an interesting one. So yeah, Inter Miami 1-0. The next one is New York Red Bull against Charlotte, who are out. New York Red Bull are in, so this is probably not a game that there's going to be too much riding on. Granted, I know spots kind of predict where they're going to, but are they going to get above New York City FC, who I predicted to lose? Maybe. They are coming up against the Charlotte team, who are probably just nothing to lose, so they may as well just go for it. It is going to be an interesting one. Will Red Bull probably get in a better playoff spot? I think this is probably going to be one of those games where it could probably just be 1-1. So I think Charlotte do have a good team, but New York Red Bull are probably a bit sporadic at home. So it is going to be a good one. Two teams probably have a good, similar record at form as well. So yeah, I'm going to go let's stick with 1-1. So the next one is Orlando against Columbus Crew. Orlando are in, I believe. No, they're not, and they're coming up against the Columbus Crew team, who are above them. So this game probably does have a lot of riding on this. Whoever wins this probably has a chance of getting through into the playoffs, albeit whatever happens in the Inter game and all that kind of stuff. I know I've already predicted the Inter game to be winning, but anything can happen because this is MLS, and as you know, my predictions are always correct, but one or two slip through the net. So everybody can't be too perfect, you know what I mean? So Orlando against Columbus. Orlando, not a strange season. Granted, so has Columbus Crew, to be fair, and they're doing a bit better. Columbus Crew have only won 2 or 3 games away from home, so that's not great. They haven't won anything in the last 4, so that's not even great. Orlando haven't even drew a game, which is surprising, at home, so it isn't too bad. I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win to Orlando, and I think Columbus Crew may miss out on the playoffs. I think Orlando and Inter are probably the two teams that are probably going to get through. Cincinnati is going to be an interesting one. Do they get through with a win? Cincinnati. Maybe Cincinnati and Orlando miss out. So yeah, that one's going to be a good one. Who knows? What do you think, James? Whoever else is there. So yeah, 2-1 win to Orlando. It's going to be a good one. The next one, and probably the last one in the Eastern, it is Philadelphia against Toronto, sorry. Philadelphia at home, haven't lost a game. Probably going to beat Toronto, who have been shocking. Only 2 games a win away from home. They have nothing riding on this. Philadelphia have nothing riding on this when they should have bloody have won the bloody thing. But anyway, I digress. Dust. Didn't even notice that. But anyway, so yeah, Philadelphia probably should win this game. I'm going to go for like a 2-0 win to Philadelphia against the Toronto team who have nothing to play for. So, which is unfortunate. The next one is Austin against Orlando. As you can probably tell, the rest of them are gone for whatever reason. I don't know why they don't put them all in. But anyway, they do. Never mind. Austin against Orlando. Colorado. Jesus Christ. Austin at home. Probably nothing really riding on this game. I know they're second. And they're pretty much nailed on to basically be second, which isn't too bad. Orlando. Colorado. Sean. Jesus Christ. Could make it in if they win by 5-0. I doubt it. So Orlando probably have a lot more riding on this than Austin do, but I'll go for like a 2-all. Just for the fact is, the two teams, I think Colorado really need this, but I think Austin are probably just going to play this game out and kind of hope no players get really injured, but they're a far better team than Colorado. So yeah, I'm going to stick with that one. The next one is Dallas against Sporting Kansas City. So Sporting Kansas City is going to be a good one. Their head-to-head is a bit strange. I know there's going to be a lot more stuff in here that makes no sense, but yeah, makes no sense. Anyway, two teams are probably going to be a good wee game. Dallas against Sporting Kansas City. Dallas should probably win this game. They're already through Sporting Kansas City, probably leaving it too late as they did. So they haven't lost a game in the last 6, which is pretty impressive. Whereas Dallas starting to lose a small bit, but I'm going for like a 1-all. Just two teams are probably Sporting Kansas City in better form. Granted, albeit all very very late, and Dallas nothing really to lose. So a 1-all. Make sure Dallas have nothing to lose. I'm pretty sure they're safe. Cool. The next one is Houston Dynamo against LA Galaxy, who I believe are safe. Ooh. Not entirely safe. Them Nashville are not exactly safe, so this is going to be an interesting one. They're coming against the Houston Dynamo team who are atrocious, if that's safe to say. Granted, they won their last game, but they are fourth from bottom. When you could tell that they knew that they weren't going to be in, they kind of started picking up. They got beaten by LAFC 3-1, but beaten Nashville away from home, so that's not bad. But they're coming against the Galaxy team, who you think would be better. So I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win to LA Galaxy. They're probably going to be into this game a wee bit more, so I think they're going to be up for this game. The next one is LAFC, who have won the league. Congratulations to them. Against the Nashville team, who, like I said, are needing a win to basically confirm that they've made it in. This game could probably mess them up because they're playing a team who have already won the game. They're playing at home, so they're probably going to try to put on a show. Show off the shield and all kind of jazz. So they're coming against the Nashville team, who aren't doing too bad, but I think they're... Oh yeah, that's because the MLS are weird. They go by wins, so LA Galaxy could probably get above them if they end up in the same... No, what? Anyway, this is apparently all different. I don't know. Anyway, LAFC 2-1 win. Should be probably pretty easy enough for LAFC, I think. Unfortunate for Nashville. The next one is Minnesota against Vancouver Whitecaps. Minnesota, again 7th, really need to win this game to make sure that they're in. Vancouver also need to win this game to make sure that they're in. I think they're have a better win rate. I don't know why this is MLS does, but anyway, than Minnesota. Well, if they beat Minnesota, they could probably get in, and they have a strange. But anyway, I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Minnesota. I think they do have the home record to probably prove this one is going to be a good one for them. So I'm going to go for like a 1-0 win in that one. The next one is Real Salt Lake against Portland Timbers. Real Salt Lake, who are possibly getting in, taking on a Portland team who should possibly get in. Again, the Western is probably a bit more fun than the rest of them. So you would think it's actually going to be a trickier one. You would think Real Salt Lake could probably get a good result in this one, but they are coming up against a Portland team who are strange. This is probably a game where they could probably do very well. They got beaten by LAFC, beaten by Columbus Crew in their last game against Real Salt Lake, whenever it was. I think they won. I can't remember. It was such a long time ago. It was 0-0. So they're a bit equal. Portland suck. Fuck out, James. They're grand. They're not too bad. So I'm gonna go for like a 1-0. I think Real Salt Lake should do a good game. Should have a good game at home. But Portland Timbers are a strange team that can surprise really anybody. So yeah, I'm gonna go for like a 1-0. And the last game is Seattle, who haven't made it in, against Sporting Kansas City, who haven't definitely made it in. Again, this can go anyway. Yeah. So I'm going to go for like a 1-1 as well. I think Seattle at home should probably get a good result in this one, but San Jose Earthquakes are not too bad either. They started to pick up a couple of results near the end there, so I'm going to go for like a 1-1 in that one. So yep, that are my predictions. It is going to be It is going to be an interesting one. The Western is probably going to be the most mental, with the whole way from Nashville to Real Salt Lake, but these teams here can probably make it into situations as well. Colorado are not exactly out, but this is MLS. Anything can happen, and it being MLS, anything will happen. So, yep, those were my predictions. I really hope you enjoyed them, James. So, I hope to see you on the next one for the playoff results, the playoff games, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to try to do a wee bit more during the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. So I hope to see you then. So bye now.